Good job.
That smile says it all. These days, Gracie and her family have a lot to smile about. Just 10 months ago, life was different.
At a month of age, she went into congestive heart failure, and we spent 9 grueling weeks at in the PICU.
It's not uncommon in 45% of children with Down syndrome, but organ transplants aren't always available to children like her.
If Gracie were to need an organ, we would have to move out of the state of Georgia, or could potentially have to move to another state. And of course, we were dumbfounded by this. We were floored. And so that's when we started looking more into it.
In the state of Georgia, there is no state law protecting people with disabilities from discrimination when trying to receive an organ transplant. That is where proposed legislation, Gracie's Law, would come into play, allowing her to stay in her home state and get the care that she would need. The National Council on Disability reports that many organ transplant centers have policies that bar or caution against placing people with psychiatric, intellectual, or development disabilities on the waiting list. And Representative Rick Williams, the sponsor of the bill, says that
this bill speaks and helps people who a lot of times are not able to take care or speak for themselves.
Federal Americans with Disability Act protects patients from being discriminated against, but that means families often have to take the fight to federal court, and that takes time that many patients don't have.
Gracie's Law will allow families to fight for their loved ones in a local court if they're removed from an organ transplant list, and 12 states have passed a measure to stop discrimination in organ transplants. The Nobles know children who have lost their chance at a life-saving transplant without ever knowing the reason why.
And doctors in other parts of the state, even primary care doctors, may not make the referral to even get considered for the transplant list. And people without knowledge to know that they could have potentially been discriminated against, you just go home and accept the fact that you're not going to receive the life-saving organ that you need. And you just go home and live the rest of your life and enjoy the days that you have remaining.
Watching Gracie play, hearing that laugh, it's easy to see why this family fights for this child. And when their child didn't need them for that, they choose to fight for others.